So yes, I have left Project Resurrection. You may be going like, why? Well, it's simply down towards corruption, it's simply down towards the fact that I wasn't given my freedom. And on top of this, me and many other devs will of course be slaving on constantly throughout Project Resurrection's lifetime. It felt as if as the project started to get bigger and bigger, it felt as if that leadership for it was a good idea and thought it was a big enough excuse in order to start slaving on their already existing workers while they laid on their backs and pretty much relaxed with a nice Sunday in their hand, also sleeping on the beaches of who knows, fuck when, maybe Dubai, maybe just relaxing as they proceed to tell all the other devs to keep working or they'll get warnings and eventually get banned, which feels like it's absolute complete bullshit. And because of this fight and because of the toxic culture that was in fact going on inside Project Resurrection, me and many others decided just to leave and form up Project Retro. Of course, Solo still decided to stay in Project Resurrection to pretty much build it up. But however, me and many others who are basically key assets of Project Resurrection, like for example, handling the server side, to simply handling the assets, they already left Project Resurrection. And therefore, because of that, right, there'll be no more updates related to the assets for Project Resurrection. And because of that, right, it'll be all uploaded underneath the Project Retro name. And thus, Project Retro V1 is going to be Project Resurrection V3, but uploaded underneath my name. Why? Because honestly, it felt as if this was the best way to go about it. They already banned me, and on top of this, I felt as if I didn't really give a fuck about Project Resurrection no more. And on top of this, I want to give myself and many other devs the freedom that they desired. And so like Project Retro was there to not only solve that issue, but also to preserve much more other games. Because in reality, Project Resurrection is simply small-minded. They only wanted to focus on one main thing, Real Racing 3, while me and many others wanted to focus more than Real Racing 3. We want to focus on Real Racing 1 and maybe expand towards other games that are also abandoned by the game studios. Because honestly, it feels as if you focus on one game, people are of course going to be interested in that one game, and potentially the community could die out if that particular community over that one game just dies out in general. And not only that, right, but eventually people may actually get bored of Real Racing 3. Not like I'm saying people will if I get bored of Real Racing 3, because honestly it's quite a unique game. But ever, just like all games, you eventually continue to play and eventually you will get bored of the game itself over the repetitiveness. And so that I wanted to host much more different types of games, so different types of realities and genres, so that you can have a much more easy accessible way in order to basically play a variety of games. Because honestly, there are a lot of games out there that are set abandoned by pretty much the game studios and the game publishers that are really interested in play, especially on mobile. Because did you know for fact right, that game studios actually gave a fuck about mobile gameplay? Yes, there was in fact multiple high quality games that around the 2000s were in fact getting released for mobile. Because honestly, game studios and pretty much everyone thought that mobile gaming was in fact going to be the future, and technically it is, because there's so much profit within the mobile game industry. So it's really interesting and it really encourages game studios just to make games for them. But that doesn't mean by art is still ain't being made today. There's still some really good games that are set to be released for mobile, and on top of this, there's some games that are still existing that are really good to in fact play. And to be honest, I still play a fair amount of mobile games myself, mostly School of Chaos, because honestly, that game is still good to this day. It's still a nice banger, even if it's for beginners, because now it's underneath people who basically love the game since the beginning, because the original developers left and abandoned the game. And because of that, right, it was eventually picked up by a bunch of developers and a bunch of people who originally played the game in order to simply have some more enjoyment out of it. And because of that, right, they want to simply revive it so they can keep their memories alive. That's what we simply do also. You want to also revive Real Racing 3 amongst other games so that you can still have your memories alive within these games. And of course, there's be a mix of iOS and Android ports, and we're of course going to host this within Project Retro itself. And on top of this, we're also going to host F1 broadcasts, we're also going to host many other things as well, many other events that you guys can in fact participate in if you're interested in that as well. So, what are you waiting for? Join the Discord in the description down below and participate in the events that we have hosted, because on top of this, watch the F1 broadcast and watch other broadcasts as well with me, because honestly, I really love motorsports to the point that I even compete in motorsports myself. And that's another thing I want to say. With Project Retro, we're also going to be hosting a live broadcast for Formula One Grand Prix, and also on top of this for DRC as well. Yes, me and Alexander Leclerc both are going to be starting the actual broadcast channel, Discord channel. We'll of course be live on YouTube as well, in order to show you what the next season of DRC is going to be like. Because honestly, I'm a team principal and driver of our Haas. So you guys will be supporting Haas if you support Project Retro, really. And we're also going to make sure that we will try and get as many points as we can. So by the end of it, we will in fact be the ultimate, potentially the best DLC team known to man. But that's the future. I can't say anything. Many other people can't say anything. But if you want to see the rise of Haas in DLC, go and join Project Retro. As of course I make all the announcements related to DLC in there, of course, from the World Grand Prix, and many other announcements as well related to Real Racing 3 and many other games as well. So what are you waiting for? Go join, participate with us, and if you have a suggestion about reviving some other games that you want revived, go ahead, send it to us, and we'll make sure to revive it as well with Real Racing 3 and many other games as well. Because we ain't small-minded like Project Resurrection, we are big-minded. We want to revive as many games as we can. And so that's why I started up Project Retro, in order to simply not only revive Real Racing 3, but also revive as many games as we can that are part of our childhood and critical to our childhood. Also at the same time giving more freedoms to developers and many other people as we can. Also at the same time literally decreasing the amount of corruption within the actual project itself. Because we're in like Project Resurrection where there's a lot of corruption. We're in Project Retro where there's going to be little to in fact no corruption whatsoever. As of course I will be answering and be abiding by all the requests that you, the user, may actually have for the project. From a simple suggestion to simply just questions and answers. It'll be fully open and you'll be fully to in fact criticize me, and I'll fully to in fact understand that. And I'll in fact answer all your questions searched within Project Retro. So what are you waiting for? Go and join Project Retro in the link description down below and follow me and many other people as we see to revive not only Real Racing 3 but also many games as well, but also at the same time expanding it so that we can in fact eventually have the ultimate Real Racing 3 package for you to in fact play with. Also having at the exact same time having Project Retro V1 to be the ultimate universal assets. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and join us, Project Retro, as we see to revive many of the games, have a deeper connection within the community, and also on top of this, having a wider range of broadcastings, including DLC, Formula Grand Prix, F1, and many other broadcasts that you may be interested in. Also tell me, because I'm very open in order to basically get any suggestions as you can. So, what are you waiting for? Go to Project Retro in the description down below. And that's in fact everything I want to say. See you guys later.